Liner Stockholm with 590 passengers made a happy departure from New York July 25, 1956. A week earlier, the Italian luxury liner Andrea Doria had sailed from her home port carrying 1,300 passengers. In service only 3.5 years, the 29,000-ton Italian vessel was en route New York via Genoa, Naples, Cannes, and Gibraltar. Her arrival time would approximate the departure of the Stockholm. An elaborate radar system was standard equipment for the modern ocean liner. The Doria's passengers were celebrating the last night of their voyage, the Stockholm's travelers their first night out of New York. Some later reports said a heavy fog set in. Whatever the circumstances, when the shroud of darkness lifted, daylight found the Andrea Doria listing more than 35 degrees after being rammed by the ice crusher bow of the Stockholm. History's first collision of two luxury liners set into motion the greatest maritime rescue operation 45 miles south of Nantucket Island, Massachusetts, in the shipping lane known as the Times Square of the Atlantic because of the heavy traffic. The Ile De France and other vessels had sped to the rescue, but ironically it was from the decks of the Stockholm that the first rescue boats came. A 40-foot hole in her bow, she was still seaworthy and took aboard some 500 survivors. The 12,600-ton yacht-like Stockholm had radioed, "We're badly damaged, whole bow crushed, one hold filled with water." But to the stricken Doria, she messaged, "If you can lower lifeboats, we can pick them up." 11 hours after the Stockholm's sharp bow opened the mortal wound in her side, the Doria surrendered to the sea. Her lifeboats, more than adequate for all aboard, could not be lowered because of the list that had developed immediately. They floated free while the ship sank in 225 feet of water. The end of a $29 million ocean queen. Back to New York steamed the Ile De France with nearly 800 survivors. Ordeal was at last behind them. Before them, on the docks, sanctuary and the solace of friends and relatives. Some joyous, some stunned, some weary, but all thankful. Members of the courageous crew. The final death toll of the disaster was to be 51. Only heroic rescue work had averted one of the worst sea disasters in history. Thus ended a memorable maritime drama.